truancy law since 2019, but now the Appleton Area School District is asking the city to reinstate truancy citations. A community listening session will be held on August 4th to give Appleton residents the opportunity to discuss that possibility. Superintendent Greg Hartge says there are about 30 students who haven't attended a single day of school or who stopped coming mid-school year. The district would like students to resolve their truancy citations through community service or improved school attendance. The point is not to punish, but to get chronic skippers back in class. An ordinance on Airbnbs and the like in Neenah has been overturned. A state appeals court overturned the tourist housing ordinance in Neenah Wednesday. The ordinance prohibits owners of residential property from obtaining permits to rent their property unless it was their primary residence. The Wisconsin Realtors Association sued, saying the provision exceeded the city's authority under state law. A circuit court disagreed. The WRA then appealed, and the appeals court sided with the realtors, saying the ordinance does conflict with state law against local limitations on the short-term rental of any residential dwellings. Employees at the Stone Ridge Piggly Wiggly in Wautoma will be displaced as the store closes its doors. The warn notice filed with the Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development said the business will close in September. Stone Ridge will expand its wholesale division and will need the grocery space for the expansion. The 56 employees affected by the closure.
Some time off for the Brew Crew. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Baseball, the Brewers have the night off before they host the Nationals tomorrow night. The Brewers beat the Dodgers yesterday, 3-2 in 10 innings. Jackson Churio at the plate, with Sal Frelick at third on FanDuel, Wisconsin.
Churio, base hit, ball game. Frelick scores, and the Brewers win. They sweep the Dodgers. Jackson Churio with his first career walk-off, and he makes a winner out of the Brew Crew, sending the Dodgers to their 6th straight loss.
It's also the first time the Brewers have ever swept the Dodgers in a series played in Milwaukee. And after the game, it was announced that closer Trevor McGill has been selected for the All-Star game next week in Atlanta. NBA, Bobby Portis tells ESPN why he wanted to stay in Milwaukee and play for the Bucks.
Just the atmosphere, man, just the culture, man, just being in Milwaukee kind of helped shape and make my career.
With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
As Wisconsin is cheering on Bucky Badger. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy, warm and muggy tonight and tomorrow with occasional showers and thunderstorms. Low tonight mid-60s, high tomorrow mid-80s. A storm or two still possible Saturday, then drying out for the weekend with a drop in humidity. Currently at 75 degrees.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
Stephanie Bloomingdale, president of the Wisconsin AFL-CIO. The Big Brutal Bill is basically an all-out assault on working Americans.
No tax on tips. It's not as good as it sounds because a lot of tipped workers are not paying that higher level of taxes in the first place.
As the wealthiest among us, dine at the feast of all feasts. Don't be fooled by the table scraps.
The award-winning Maggie Dawn Show at its new time, weekdays 4 till 6 p.m. The Todd Albaugh Show.
I get why you, Senator Royce, were a no vote on this budget. I think the people that voted no on this were standing up for public education.
I think that's exactly right. We heard from people loud and clear in this budget cycle and 2 years ago, the number one priority that people asked for, whether they called, emailed, or showed up at the public hearings, they want our schools funded. Our kids deserve better schools. They have been underfunded for decades, and it is time for us to prioritize public education.
The Todd Albaugh Show, weekdays 2 to 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. Todd Albaugh.
Next time, Todd continues live from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair in Chippewa Falls, highlighting some great public educators and talking with filmmaker B.J. Hollers about his new documentary.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Night Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a man barely 6 feet tall, but a mountain of muscle, Pete Schwaba.
Well, maybe not a mountain, but it's there, under a layer. I am stacked. Hey, it's Pete Schwaba. Welcome to Night Light, folks. It's Thursday night. a gorgeous night here in the state of Wisconsin. So I hope you had a great day wherever you're joining us from tonight across our beautiful state on this summer day, night, evening. Wisconsin is what I like to call the state of summer, and it's finally here. We've had some great weather back-to-back after a great holiday weekend, and this is a beautiful evening and a great night to sit inside and listen to the radio. It's been a crazy week, folks, so thank you for sticking with us here and being with us tonight, because I was off Monday for the holiday. Then some unforeseen things happened, and Todd Michaels produced Tuesday. He has moved on to take another job. We wish Todd the best. And then we had technical difficulties last night. And then, so tonight is our only, because we have a replay going tomorrow that was already previously set up. So it's kind of been a really weird week of Nightlight. It does not feel like a normal week. It feels very different. And I hope we all still feel close, listeners. I hope all the listeners know we have not abandoned them. We are here. We are all couch potatoes together. And we will be talking serious TV and movies tonight. And it will be a normal Nightlight show tonight. So we got a replay tomorrow night. And then we will be back live on our regularly scheduled airwaves starting on Monday with a great show. So thank you for bearing with us this week, folks. Hope you were able to find something in the content we posted when we weren't here this week to enjoy. So got a great show tonight. Conrad, how are you doing tonight? That's the question.
I'm doing good. It's good to be back, because it's been a week since I produced this show, I feel like now.
It has been a week, right?
Yeah.
It's been more than a week, because we were off. I was off last Thursday. And you were too. We went off. That was the same. We took that day. I took Monday. You took Monday and Tuesday.
I did. Yes.
Then you produced John and Jim's show. John and Jim's show is no longer here. So it's just been kind of a crazy week here, and there's been a little bit of fallout, but we're back. Everything's jamming here at Civic Media, and we are on the air and ready to rock. Conrad is back in the producer's seat, and I am here. Everybody's where we belong. And it's great to have you with us on this Thursday night. Folks, this is the Christmas Eve of weeknights. We've got a lot going on here tonight. Johnny Beaner will be here, comedian based in Madison. Johnny Beaner will be here at 6:35 tonight. Johnny's going to make the popcorn pick of the week, and I'm very excited. Every time John comes on the show, he's so much fun. Do you remember what Johnny's claim to fame was, Conrad?
What was it?
He's got a really cool fun fact. He is the last comedian to perform on The Late Show with David Letterman.
Yes.
That had not been on the show before. He made his debut just weeks before Dave hung it up. And I think that is like one of the coolest things ever. And Johnny's a great guy. So he's been on the show several times. He was live with me one night from Madison about a year ago. That was fun. And he did a charity event for me in Marinette about 4 or 5 months ago with our other friend, John Egan, and our other friend, Jessica Phillips. And it was good to hang out and socialize with those guys that night, and Johnny in particular, because we hung out a little later into the evening. But very funny comic, and I'm very excited to see what he brings in terms of his popcorn pick of the week. We'll find out at 6:35, folks. You won't want to miss that. And then at 7:35, my other pal, Kurt Krause, Northeast Wisconsin-based actor and producer, will be here at 7:35 in studio, maybe even a couple minutes earlier. We'll see what happens. But he is in downtown Green Bay, and he will mosey into the studio, and we will talk about some really cool legislation that passed earlier this week for filmmakers. Actually, I think it was late last week, right before the 4th. But big news, and Kurt has been actively involved. I think he's been kind of lobbying the governor with a group of other people from Action Wisconsin, but he was in the Capitol several times, sort of trying to sway the conversation to have these great incentives that we have as filmmakers now in Wisconsin. And I have to be honest, I wasn't sure if it was going to happen, but I have a film that I've been putting together for a couple of years, pre-COVID, and then COVID messed us up for like 3 years. Got back at it about a year ago, and we'll see what happens with it, but I can shoot that in Wisconsin now.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Can I be the lead?
Send me a picture and a resume, and wear a shirt,
resume
for God's sakes.
Nothing even close to acting on it.
With a radio producer credit on it. But it is great news for Wisconsin filmmakers, because there are a lot of people out there like me that would have had to go. We were planning on going to northern Minnesota, where you can utilize 2 incentives. Well, if I shoot the film in Northeast Wisconsin, I can utilize a lot of, hopefully, what a lot of filmmakers do is utilize favors from friends, and they are able to trim a lot off their budget that way. Well, that coupled with the incentives makes it just about the same as going to northern Minnesota, and I can keep the film here in Wisconsin where I've always wanted to. So that's exciting. It's an exciting day for a lot of Wisconsin filmmakers. We'll talk about that with Kurt at 7:35. So a great night to be here at Nightlight, folks. We have to get to some texts that came in overnight, and these came in. I don't even know. Bud texted us. Were these last night? They must have put a replay on from like last week.
It was when we were talking about eggs.
But that was last week, right?
Yes.
You were saying how you like to dunk your toast into the disgusting
I love
runny egg yolk. And I was saying how I like scrambled, and I like them well scrambled. And Bud says, Bud's in the 608, and he's out and about from 4 to 6 a.m. every morning, and he listens to rebroadcasts of the show, which I think is great. He says, hey, Pete and Conrad, just chiming in late on Egg Talk. Pete Schwaba, a guy who likes his eggs well done. Love your show, Bud from Janesville. Thank you, Bud. And then he says, hey, Pete and Kay, I'm with Kay on the runny yolk and toast. Yum.
Yum.
LYS. What does that mean?
Like your stuff?
Love your show. He says love your show every time.
Okay.
I should have figured that out. And he says BFJ, which sounds obscene, but it's not. Thank you, Bud. We love that you listen to the show and that you find some enjoyment. So we have a great question tonight that I think we should get to. Let's go to the question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question. Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Okay, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda. Question.
Question.
Questions.
All right, we're piggybacking off a question we did the other night because it's been such a weird week. We had a dive bar question earlier in the week. What constitutes a dive bar? Well, we're extending that a little bit. So tonight's question is, you walk into a dive bar, what song is playing on the jukebox? Give me a good dive bar song. You walk into a dive bar, what song is playing on the jukebox? And Con, you weren't here for that show, but we had, first of all, Chris Casper he gave like 18 suggestions of what you find in dive bars, which tell me that Chris has been in his share of dive bars. He and I and Dom had drinks at Paul's right next to the Civic Media Madison Studios, and that's a nicer place. And Chris seemed pretty at home there too, but he obviously loves his dive bar. So
yeah. I went there actually when I was in Madison.
To Paul's?
Yes.
Oh, I want to hear that. All right, but here tonight our question, folks, is you walk into a dive bar, what song is playing on the juke? 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Text us on the app. Text us on the stream. Message us. Get a hold of us any way you can, but please get a hold of us and be part of the show, and I will read your text on the radio. We've got some good social media responses I'll get to shortly, but that's our question of the night. You walk into a dive bar, what song is playing on the jukebox? I've already said this, and I actually shared my answer on social media. Any song by Bob Seger. And I mean that in a good way. Like, I don't mean like he's a trashy artist in any way. There are just some jukeboxes and some dive bars. Taking Care of Business is another song. You're going to hear Neil Young. You're going to hear some classic rock. Freebird, probably. But I love some Bob Seger on the jukebox. That's what's playing in my dive bar. So share yours, and we'll get to those, and we'll have some fun tonight. So when did you go to Madison?
So mine, because it wasn't really it kind of was a dive bar. It was like in between a nice bar and a dive bar.
If it's on State Street, it's not really a bar.
Well, I'm saying this is where I'd usually go when I was in Milwaukee.
Okay.
For the song, or the artist, I would say, The Lonely Island.
That's the name of the bar?
No, that's the artist.
The name of the artist is The Lonely Island?
Have you ever heard of them?
No. You got a clip?
I probably shouldn't play any of their songs.
Oh, wow.
It's Andy Samberg.
Oh.
His
dude.
His band.
It's
all because they make hilarious music, all right?
Yeah.
And anytime my buddy and I would have a chance to use the jukebox or whatever they had, we'd put on one of their songs because we just laugh every time it go on.
You ever been in a situation where people, it's like a jukebox hostage situation where some idiot
Yes.
puts in $10, or he'll go and play the Macarena over and over, or whatever the song is of the moment, like Achy Breaky Heart or something. And they'll play that. It used to be you could play that over and over, and someone would play it 10 times, and the clientele would just leave. So
Then they got the bar to themselves.
they got smart eventually, but anyway. So yeah, let us know what your jukebox song is, folks, in a dive bar. I think we've had a lot of fun. We've only done 2 shows where there was a live. It just worked out that way because it was a crazy week. But we did the Tuesday show about dive bars, and we're piggybacking on that tonight. So you can add.
So I also had on social media. I posted on Tuesday what I think makes it.
Yes.
And I said really cheap booze.
I don't think I have those responses here. So let me read those because we missed in the chaos. We were out of our routine a little bit because you weren't here. So our social media responses from Tuesday, we don't like to leave people out here at Nightlight. What makes a bar a dive bar? And we got some great answers. I won't read all of them, obviously, because we got a ton of text that night. But on our social media pages, we did not get to these. And Daniel Wheeler says 100% the bathroom. If the stall doors are made from scrap plywood, painted forest green, and rusty side bolt latches attached with mismatched screw types, you're in a dive bar. Boy, that is a filmmaker's eye for detail right there from Daniel. Thank you, buddy. And here's yours, Conrad Krieger. Really cheap booze. Were you sipping on some really cheap booze when you sent that in?
No.
Okay.
There is a bar back in Kewaskum where they have $1 beer. It's it's a dive bar. So
sure.
And the bathrooms do look like what Daniel Wheeler said. So
my favorites were from the other night were a couple slow dancing when there's no music and there's no dance floor. They're just like, and there's definite groping happening.
Oh,
and
no.
most people would feel uncomfortable, except it's a dive bar, so people expect that kind of stuff. I said a bar of soap in the bathroom. It's like got dirt on it, and I think Todd said like signage that has swear words in it, and just there's such great answers the other night. Nick the other night said it needs to feel aged. Yes, that's a great one, Nick. Agreed. And my pal Vince Morano says location. Well, that's pretty good too. Thank you, Vince. Vince, as a comedian, a lot of comics have been in dive bars because you go out drinking after the show. Pittsburgh. Oh my God, there was a bar up on the hill on Mount Washington called Amel's. It was an old steelworker bar. And we were going, I was in there with Lewis Black one night and my pal Keith Leslie, God rest his soul. And it's literally people had a beer and a shot. That's where that phrase comes from, are probably Pittsburgh steel bars. But that was a great dive bar too. All right, so let us know what is playing on the jukebox when you walk into a dive bar. What's on the jukebox? This is Pete Schwaba and Nightlight. It's the popcorn pick of the week coming at you in just about 10 minutes, folks. We're coming right back on the Civic Media Radio Network.
From Ashwaubenon to Alloway, this is 97.9 WGBW.
You're listening to the American Democracy Minute, keeping your government by and for the people. 5 years after the fake elector scheme to overturn the 2020 election, legal accountability is grinding along for some of the conspirators and those who wittingly or unwittingly supported them. But pardons may be in the wind, too. May 27th, a 3-judge New York appellate court stripped Trump campaign attorney Kenneth Chesebro, an alleged key organizer of the swing state fake elector scheme, of his license to practice law in New York. June 16th, the alleged mastermind of the fake elector scheme, John Eastman, was recommended for disbarment in California. He can still appeal the decision. Also June 16th, a civil jury found MyPillow CEO and election denier Mike Lindell liable for $2.3 million for defaming former Dominion Voting Systems executive Eric Coomer. Dominion itself has a claim pending against Lindell, right-leaning news outlets, and several other Trump-alleged conspirators and collaborators. The Michigan Advance reported July 5th that a hearing on whether the trial of 15 of 16 Michigan fake electors should go forward has been moved to September 9th. A trial in Arizona is scheduled for January 5th, 2026 for the alleged fake electors and Trump associates, including his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows. Mother Jones reported June 4th that President Donald Trump's pardon attorney was considering pardons for the accused fake electors. We have more at AmericanDemocracyMinute.org. I'm Brian Beal.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Hey Wisconsin, it's construction season, and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones. Check 511wi.gov or download the app for road work or closures on your route. Know before you go with 511 Wisconsin. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
As Wisconsin.
Basement is like lower than the dive bar. That's like people that when you're down in your luck, you don't even go to a dive bar. You head down to the basement with a case of Meisterbrow. So that's a perfect song for more dive bar talk. Hey, this is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite. Great to have you with me. Welcome back. In just a few minutes, Madison-based stand-up comic Johnny Beaner will be here. We're going to talk about his popcorn pick of the week. At 7:35, our pal Kurt Krause, actor and producer based here in Northeast Wisconsin, will come on and give us an update on how great our state is now that we will have a film office and the incentives have passed. So that'll be fun. Fun show tonight. And our question is, you walk into a dive bar, what song is on the jukebox? I say anything by Bob Seger. What did you say again, Con?
The Lonely Island.
The Lonely Island.
Yeah, on your way home tonight, just listen to a couple tunes.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that.
At least look at the names of their songs.
All right. So you took a trip to Madison. What kind of tomfoolery happened there?
Well, we went down there because we wanted to do something fun for the 4th, and we didn't have a plan originally, but we were like, the 4 of my friends and I haven't all gone together in Madison.
Yeah.
So we went down there. We stayed at the concourse, and
that's right.
We went on this paddle boat, I believe it's called. But you don't really
on Lake Mendota.
Yeah,
yeah, nice.
You don't really have to
Never
pedal.
done
though.
one of those.
Yeah, I mean you don't. It's just there for show. I feel like because
Yeah.
there's still a motor and a guy, driving the boat. So, but we got one of the older ones that didn't have a roof on it or a little. And it was a really hot day. So
it was like Friday or was it 4th?
Yeah, it was the 4th.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I put on the most sunscreen out of it. No one else did. I wonder if they got burned from that, but I put on a lot of sunscreen, and I still felt really hot out there. But it was a lot of fun. They let us, hook our phones up for the DJ.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Cool.
We went across to this one bar that was kind of like a bar by the docks. Got to go in there, then go back on the boat, and then go back to where the docks were for the boat. And after that, we just went downtown, and it was a lot of fun that night.
What bars did you go to?
We went to, I know we went to what was the bar you said again?
Paul's.
Paul's, we went there.
Yeah.
And then we also went to the Red Rocks Saloon.
Red Rocks is fun.
Oh, and also the people we met on the boat, we actually went out with them, to some of the bars down there. So that was fun.
Kind of fun.
Yeah, we met some new people.
Did you go to Whiskey Jack's?
Yes, we did go to
That's my son Joe's favorite bar.
And then we also went, I forget what it's called, but it was a bar across the street, and it had a balcony on top.
Okay.
And that was fun to be out there, and we got to see some of the fireworks on the balcony there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and then I don't know if because you stayed at the concourse a couple times.
Many times, yeah, over the years, yeah.
I didn't know, none of my friends or I knew that the breakfast costed money.
Oh, no.
So We have breakfast there. My friend wasn't.
It's a restaurant where you're seated, though. You guys didn't know that?
Well, there was a buffet, so we were like,
okay.
so we. My friend had 5 pieces of fruit. He's like, I can't eat right now. So we're going back to the elevator, and the waiter comes running down.
Thinks you guys are dining and dashing.
Yeah, I was like, you gotta pay. We all look at each other like, what? Yeah. Conrad, you said it was free.
We thought this was an upscale hotel, like a Super 8.
Because last time I stayed there, I ate there and went back to the room.
So you dined and dashed before and you didn't even know.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
so that's why I was like, it's a free breakfast.
Yeah.
So my friend paid $15 for
it's always
5
free
pieces
if
of
you
fruit.
dine and dash. That's the beauty.
So that was funny. But
Technically, they have free breakfast there.
yeah. It was a really fun night though. It's always fun going down to Madison.
It's so great.
I showed the guys where the civic media headquarters are.
Oh,
yeah.
they're gorgeous too, right above Comedy on State, looking over the. Well, I'll be there a week from Monday too. From this coming Monday, we'll be doing the show live from there. That's always fun. I want to share this text that Aaron Zommers, who produces the Todd Alba Show. If you haven't checked it out, you absolutely must. Todd is touring the state right now and did not ask me to go. I'm a little upset about that. But Zommers says, I finally watched Sinners the other day, and it was great. However, I really didn't like the random flashbacks to things that had happened like 20 minutes ago. It was like they didn't trust us to remember the explicit exposition we were given. Otherwise, though, it was great. A great take on vampires. Just thought I'd pass that along since you recommended it on your show. I agree with Zommers, and I don't like to be talked down to either by way of dialogue through movies or TV show. But frankly, if it only happened a couple times, Aaron, you're doing okay because they do that, and people's attention span is like 0. Thank you for sharing that, though, buddy. That's great. Yeah, and I still recommend Sinners. Let's get to some of our social media texts for our question tonight. You're walking to a dive bar. What is on the jukebox? Our pal Rich Tallarico says the piano has been drinking. Tom Waits. Oh, I remember that song. Wow. Yeah, Tom Waits is a great jukebox artist. Mike Desitel says, I like beer. Tom T. Hall. Forgot about that song. Thank you, Mike. Our pal Jimmy Kuska says, hair metal is my go-to during a hostile takeover of the jukebox anywhere I go. So Jimmy's that guy.
Good for him.
That pays $10 and won't let anybody else listen to the jukebox. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Jim. Daniel Wheeler says, Betty Davis Eyes by Kim Carnes. Oh, that's a good one. That's just a great song. I kind of forget about that one. And my own response, anything by Bob Seger. And I mean that in a good way. My pal Sean says, Pete Schwaba, nothing like walking into a dive bar strung out from the road. You can feel the eyes upon you. I feel like those are song lyrics, and I don't have the music to accompany them, so I don't know. Either way, thank you, Sean. We've got a ton of text to get to on the stream, and on the text line, we'll do that too. But coming up after the news, we can bang a couple of these out. Let's do that, Conrad. Chad Fran says, Pete, in all caps. I'll take that, Chad. Thank you. He says, White Snake. Yes. Here I go again on my own, maybe? Great dive bar song. Dave on the stream says, Freebird. Absolutely. Well done, Dave. As usual, Chad Fran says, on rerun. What does that mean? Does he listen to the rerun?
I think he's saying the song that he said is on rerun all the time.
Then he says, we have to like the music. No, you don't have to like it, Chad. Whatever song you want. Dave also says, ice in the urinal, yes. And then you try to pee on the ice and it melts the ice. That's a fun bargain. We're coming right back with the popcorn pick of the week. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Light on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW. As Wisconsin has a fish fry on a Friday night, this is the Civic Media Radio Network.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. The Wisconsin Office of Rural Health has produced a statewide report revealing that fire departments across Wisconsin, especially those in rural areas, are facing serious challenges that threaten their ability to respond to emergencies reliably, safely, and efficiently. Joanne Krulatz has more on that story.
The reliability of Wisconsin's fire service report, based on contributions from 418 fire chiefs representing 52% of departments statewide, highlights a growing crisis in staffing, funding, and training that could impact public safety if not addressed. Key findings show 85% of rural fire departments operate entirely with volunteers. Over 80% of firefighters receive little or no monetary compensation. 62% of departments are worried they will be unable to adequately staff their first due apparatuses in the next year. 49% reported responding to building alarm calls with fewer than the required 4 firefighters in the past year, and 34% lack sufficient funding to pay their projected expenses. Fire chiefs interviewed recommend regionalizing or consolidating fire departments to merge staff, budgets, and resources, offer tax incentives to support firefighter recruitment and retention, expand access to training, especially in rural areas, and allow more flexible funding mechanisms for local governments. Wisconsin Office of Rural Health says correcting these deficiencies is going to require elected leaders to prioritize significant investment into community fire departments. It is also likely that many communities will need to regionalize services to share cost.
I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Actor Mark Ruffalo has taken shots at podcaster Joe Rogan, insinuating that Rogan is late to the game with his ICE raid outrage. The Kenosha-born Ruffalo said it's a little late now to pretend like Project 2025 didn't exist and wasn't the playbook all along, saying about Rogan, you are either not that smart or not that dumb. It's hard to tell at this point. Ruffalo has a host of projects set to drop in the coming months, and despite a solid performance as always, is still probably trying to forget he was part of Mickey 17. AMC Theaters recently announced they would play more commercials before movies to help offset a budget deficit. That's probably not something most moviegoers wanted to hear, but in a move in the other direction, beginning July 8th, the movie chain will offer 50% off tickets on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. The chain has also announced they will offer discount popcorn and soda on those days. This will allow the movie-going public to save a few bucks while still trying to add a few extra pounds. For more showbiz fun, tune into Night Light with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
This report sponsored by the City of Marinette, home of the Logging and Heritage Festival July 12th and 13th on Stevenson Island. More details at fishonmarinette.com.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy, warm and muggy tonight and tomorrow with occasional showers and thunderstorms. Low tonight mid-60s, high tomorrow mid-80s. A storm or two still possible Saturday, then drying out for the weekend with a drop in humidity. Currently at 75 degrees.
Mark your calendars and head to Marinette on July 12th for the 13th annual Logging and Heritage Festival. Located on historic Stevenson Island, there will be free kids activities, food trucks, BMX stunt bike, live music, logging exhibitions, fireworks, and much more. The island opens at noon and the fun doesn't stop until
Hey, Johnny, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sounds great.
Okay, excellent.
Oh, yeah, we'll be back in about 40 seconds, right?
Sounds good.
Clear in this budget cycle and 2 years ago, the number one priority that people asked for, whether they called, emailed, or showed up at the public hearings, they want our schools funded. Our kids deserve better schools. They have been underfunded for decades, and it is time for us to prioritize public education.
The Todd Alba Show, weekdays 2 to 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. Maggie Dawn.
At the top of the show, I'm joined by former U.S.
It's time for the Night Light Popcorn Pick of the Week, where we recommend a movie that you'll either enjoy or won't. Here's your host, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back to Night Light, folks. It's great to have you with me on this beautiful Thursday night. We're broadcasting live from gorgeous downtown Green Bay on a lovely summer evening. And it's about to get lovelier because I'm in the process right now of welcoming my pal, Madison-based stand-up comedian. You've seen him on David Letterman. You've seen him. He's had his own dry bar comedy special. And if you were really lucky, you saw him in Marinette, Wisconsin last February. But right now he's on the stream, and he joins us to make the Popcorn Pick of the Week. Johnny Beaner. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great. It's a beautiful evening in Green Bay.
It is. You're not in Green Bay.
No, I'm not. But I heard you say that, and I looked at your screen, and I thought it looks beautiful.
It's stunning, but it's gorgeous everywhere. I have to tell you something before we start. I remember when you were in Marinette,
Yes.
you hadn't eaten, and I said, let me take you to this place. I hear they have great burgers. So I won't name the place, but we went there, and I did not eat. You had a burger, and we were just hanging out, and then we left, and I went in there for a burger like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
For the first time ever. And I want to apologize to you.
Oh, you didn't like the burger?
I thought it was fine, but
it's a low bar for me. Food, I like food. I like food. I was happy. I faked nothing.
All right, that makes me happy because it's like sometimes a burger is just a burger and people go, oh, they have great burgers. No, they have burgers that you can eat that are cooked, but it's not like I don't think they've ever had gourmet burgers. And
Well, they have
like an elitist here, but
yeah, they have burgers that are available after the comedy show.
right, exactly. But I was eating my burger the whole time, going, oh man, I think I might have oversold this place. It wasn't bad, but I just didn't want you to think I don't have a sophisticated palate, John. That's where I'm going with this.
Well, hey, we had corn dogs for dinner the other night, and I thought it was fantastic. So,
oh, that's great. So, all right, it's great to have you here. Do you have I have to ask you before we get into the popcorn pick, do you have a song that you probably have heard on millions of jukeboxes when you walked into a dive bar?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, first thing that comes to mind is just Journey.
Yeah. Oh, Journey's great.
And you know what's funny? Like, and that's not a bad thing. I can play 4 songs on piano, and I'm learning. One of them is a Journey song, and the 5th one that I'm learning is another Journey song. They've got great piano ballads.
They're a great band. I love Journey. Even Don't Stop Believing has been overplayed to death. I still kind of.
That's the one I'm trying to learn.
Yeah, it's awesome. I chose Bob Seger, and our friend Mike Toomey. You're friends with Mike.
Oh yeah, love Mike.
He's been on the show, and he has a great joke about Bob Seger. He says, everybody at a Bob Seger concert has a Bob Seger T-shirt on, and they all look like Bob Seger. He says the only way you can tell who Bob Seger actually is that he's the one not wearing a Bob Seger T-shirt. It's just such a great joke.
That's hilarious.
Well, it's great to have you here. Thank you for doing this. I thought you had already done the popcorn pick for us, but I'm glad this worked out. So
this is my pleasure.
Yeah, let's jump in. How does Johnny Beaner watch movies? Are you a theater guy or do you watch at home?
My favorite way to watch them is in a theater, but it's not the most convenient way. So I tend to watch them in my basement or on my iPad, which I have like a stand for. So it's like, instead of having a TV in my room, I just have an iPad right next to my face on a stand. So I watch a lot of stuff.
Genius.
Yeah. It's one of the best gifts my wife ever gave me was this like C-shaped stand. So the iPad is right next to your head and you can lay in bed and not hold it.
Do you have headphones on then? Do you use headphones?
Yeah. If we're not watching together, I'll put my AirPods in.
Because I do the thing where it's such a production. Like I get into bed, I got my readers on, my headphones,
Sure.
my phone, like 5-inch screen. And sometimes I wake up and the phone is on my face, or like I'll wake up 2 hours later and there's like an episode of Cheers or Seinfeld that was 5 down the list. And it's
Sure.
like, the dialogue will wake me up and I'll go, where am I?
Yeah.
I love that though. The iPad.
I've been there.
That's great. All right, so I'm kind of with you. I typically prefer theater movies, but it is awfully darn convenient to watch them in your own house.
And they're coming out streaming so quickly after the theater, which is not great for theater business, but it's very convenient.
Absolutely. Do you take your kids still to movies? Do you guys?
You know what? This is very timely because a couple weeks ago, I bought tickets for Superman. Me and my older 2 kids are seeing Superman tomorrow at 7 p.m. and I am so excited.
It's getting really good reviews. I'm pretty excited to see it myself. Oh, have you seen anything else this summer?
I really wanted to see Friendship, but I just never got around to seeing it in the theater. And that was another one where it came out so quickly after the theater. So I just bought it on iTunes and I did watch it. That's the most recent, new release that I can think of that I saw.
How is that movie?
I liked it. I was really, I would love to see I Think You Should Leave movie, and that's not what it is, but it's that character in a different movie. So, but it was good. I liked it. I'm an easy critic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't. That's on my list, and I want to see it. I hope I like it because I like him.
Yeah.
So when you want, all right, do you like previews in the theater, or do you like to get there right when the movie starts?
Oh no, I love them. I have a buddy, Jason Russell. He's another comedian. He thinks trailers are the dumbest thing ever. He will sit in the hallway of the movie theater and have his wife text him when they're done. He gets so mad. And I'm bummed. Like Apple got rid of their trailers app. They used to have an app that was just all trailers of upcoming movies. I love trailers. Gets me excited.
My guest is Johnny Beaner. He is joining us tonight from Madison, where he is based out of. He's a very funny stand-up comedian, and he is here tonight to make the popcorn pick of the week. John, what is your snack choice? When you go to the theater, what are you getting at the concession stand?
Nothing. I will go to Target on my way to the theater, and I will buy 3 movie theater box. They know what they're doing. It's called movie theater candy. And I will buy 3 boxes of Reese's Pieces. And then I will buy the soda from the, theater. So I'll get a huge soda. Yeah.
So how do you sneak them in? They're just like in your pants. You walk.
They don't care. The 7-year-old ripping tickets is not going to stop the 6'5" Gigantor.
Really? What's he supposed to do? Make a citizen's arrest or something? Right. That's great. I'm with you. I like the Goobers. I don't even know if they make them anymore, but I feel like I was in a theater somewhere and they still sold Goobers and I was happy. But I don't. Maybe I dreamed that. I don't know. But I don't know if they still make them. But that's probably my favorite.
What is that like caramel inside of chocolate, or what are Goobers?
Just peanuts. Regular peanuts with chocolate on top, and if those aren't available, I go peanut M&Ms. But I've kind of stopped doing the popcorn because your fingers get so messy.
Yeah, I can't stop. I get a stomach ache. I love the popcorn, but I never get it because I just get sick by the end of the movie.
And we have like in Marinette, I don't know, like the same deal. It's like a bunch of kids working behind the counter, and I asked for I thought I'll go pretzel. It's just bread. It's not so horribly unhealthy.
Sure.
And the hot cheese. And I'll go, the cheese is hot, right? And he goes, oh, you want it heated up? Who the hell wants a pretzel with cold, gross, processed cheese? Like, that's what you're dealing with.
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
Nuke it, man.
Yikes.
What about when you're home, John? Like, do you eat a full meal? Do you have a cocktail you like?
While watching a movie?
Yeah.
I like having a beer with my movie at home. I mean, I like soda. I'm trying to get off soda, but with a movie, I feel like that's time out from the diet.
Right.
You gotta. So I like to have a beverage. I don't always eat something while I'm eating a movie if I'm at home, but
okay,
I need something to drink, either a soda or a beer.
Very disciplined. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
It's impressive. Like, let me ask you this: when you're at a theater, though, and there are, like, let's say, a bunch of young punks talking, do you shush them? Do you give them a look? Do you fight them? What do you do?
I'm a very passive aggressive person. I will make noises and hope they notice, or I'll look at other people and be like, "You believe that someone should do?" Hoping someone else will step in. I don't want to get stabbed.
Right. That's the problem. Like I used to say something to people. I used to give drivers looks. I don't do any of that anymore. The last time I said something was about 5 years ago, and I said, "This isn't your living room." And there was a kid. I'm like, "Oh God!" I thought it was a grown man. This kid was like 17, and he just stared at me for like 5 seconds. And I'm like, "This is lose-lose because I'm not fighting a kid, even if he comes after me.
Right.
I'm just gonna turn and walk away, and I'm gonna look like the biggest weirdo in the world."
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: what kind of movies do you like, John?
I like comedies. I like horror movies. Nice. I don't know if I like horror movies. I like the pursuit of a good horror movie. There's so many bad ones, but I like trying to find ones that are good. And I like space sci-fi movies. I don't like Lord of the Rings nerd stuff. That stuff. But I like. Do you ever see the movie Passengers?
No.
With what's his name from Parks and Rec? He plays Star-Lord. No, he plays Star-Lord, the Marvel guy. I can't remember. He's like Chris Pratt. It's him and I am so terrible.
It's Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence. Thank you very much. There you go. It's just those two. And it's just those two for most of the movie, but it's just such an interesting movie. And I've seen it a bunch of times.
Have you ever snuck booze into a movie?
Sure, I have. I don't think not regularly because a lot of theaters you can get beer at. I mean, not booze. I'll drink a beer. I don't drink booze like liquor during a movie.
That is such a Wisconsin response. No, I'm not going to sneak liquor in. I'll bring a beer in.
That's so true.
And your response was so whimsical. It was like, yeah, I'll sneak a beer in. Like, you're still breaking the law, buddy.
The theater law.
I have to ask you, one of my favorite jokes, you do such great, I mean, all your jokes are great, but I love when you talk about your wife. And can you please tell the listeners what it's like when you both pick movies at home and how you guys do that?
Oh, gosh.
if you can remember.
Yeah. So it started like it was during COVID where we would, one of us will pick out the movie and then the other one will hate their life for 90 minutes. And then we just take turns doing that. That's pretty much our system.
I don't know. That's maybe the most relatable joke of yours to me because I remember sitting through those movies and being just angry. Like, why am I watching this? And she's going to do the same thing next week.
My wife is a saint, though, because like she lets me pick it 85% of the time. And I just always assume, well, it's a good movie. We both like it.
Yeah.
But she's just a good sport and she doesn't complain. When she picks some period piece, about the Queen, I'm like, oh my God, let's watch separate movies.
You got your phone kind of secret on the side. Like, all right, I think we're ready. Con, what do you think? Do we have enough information where we're ready to get a movie?
I think so.
You got the drum roll ready? All right. Folks, Madison-based stand-up comedian Johnny Beaner is here. He is about to give us his popcorn pick of the week after Conrad rolls the drums. Lay it on us, buddy.
The original Superman 1.
Oh, wow. Nice.
19,
Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, I think it's 79, right?
That sounds about right. Yeah. Great choice.
Yeah.
So you're going to see the new one.
I'm going to see the new one.
Oh, I'd love to get a full report on what you thought as it compares to the one from the 70s.
I think it's going to be a very different. I don't know if I'll be mentally comparing them because I think that's it's not going to top it. It'll be different.
Yeah, the 70s one is they still put Superman like on a truck and for flying. And then
Right. It looks good compared to what they had done before that movie. I mean, that was the whole tagline of the movie was you'll believe a man can fly just because of the leap in what they did with the green screen.
All right, Johnny Beaner is here. We're going to break down his popcorn pick of the week right after this very short break. Please don't leave, folks. We got so much show still coming your way. It's Pete Schwaba and Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network.
With senoritas who can sway.
As a fish fry on a Friday night. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
Appleton Cigar Company on College Avenue has been serving the community for over 25 years. If you are a cigar aficionado looking for a one-of-a-kind experience, you need to check out Appleton Cigar, which boasts the largest selection of cigars north of Milwaukee with over 706 cigars to choose from in a walk-in humidor. The Cigar Lounge offers an impressive variety of spirits and cocktails that pair perfectly with a premium cigar. For the full experience, come to Appleton Cigar at 415 College Ave, Monday through Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. For more information, go to appletoncigar.com.
Mark your calendars and head to Marinette on July 12th for the 13th annual Logging and Heritage Festival. Located on historic Stevenson Island, there will be free kids activities, food trucks, BMX stunt bike, live music, logging exhibitions, fireworks, and much more. The island opens at noon and the fun doesn't stop until the fireworks are over. It's the Marinette Logging and Heritage Festival on July 13th on Stevenson Island in Marinette. Don't miss it.
Hey, it's John Mino.
And Jim Schmidt from Mino and the Mayor.
Want to stay in the loop with all things Northeast Wisconsin? Sign up for the WGBW Weekly Newsletter.
Get the latest local stories, updates on the weather, and a special feature from our Mino and the Mayor podcast.
It's your one-stop shop for real news and great conversation in Northeast Wisconsin.
Log on to WGBW.FM today and get signed up.
Real news, great conversation. Sign up today at WGBW.FM/newsletter.
Insight Eye Care has been serving the Fox Valley for over 30 years and are proud sponsors of Mino and the Mayor's Eye on the Community. Insight offers comprehensive eye care, including glasses and contact lenses. Their doctors have a special interest in treating chronic eye disease, specialty contact lenses, and pediatric care. Find Insight on Sawyer Street in Oshkosh and Chain Drive in Appleton. Visit WIinsight.com to schedule your eye exam. Improving lives by improving sight. Insight Eye Care.
Hey, it's Amanda, and we all know that Northeast Wisconsin has some of the best events around, but trying to find them all can be tricky. So here at WGBW, we decided to do the work for you. Prevent boredom on any night by going to WGBW.FM and click events in the top right corner. You'll never have to spend forever scrolling to find out what's going on in your area. And if you got an event to share, hit us up by emailing info@WGBW.FM. We can work together to have real news and great conversation while giving you the 411 on what's happening in New Wisco.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
This is Nightlight. I am Pete Schwaba. Great to have you with me on this awesome Thursday night, folks. It was almost a bar band Thursday.
Yeah,
there will be no bar band this week, so we'll have to. Terry Barr will be here next Friday. Kirk Krause is coming up at 7:35 to talk about the new law that will put film incentives into play in Wisconsin, and it is about damn time. We will also have a film office here, which is cool. If you want to get in on the action of tonight's question, it's you walk into a you walk into a dive bar. What song is on the jukebox? That's what we're asking. 855-752-4842. We'll catch up on text in just a few minutes. Right now, we got a few more minutes with, I completely lost track of time, Conrad. I've only done one show other than this one this week.
Yeah.
It feels really weird. I feel like I should be collecting on my paper route or something. I'm having a weird moment here. But Johnny Wiener is here. He is a Madison-based stand-up comic, and he just gave us the popcorn pick of the week, Superman. And I just looked it up, John. It's from 1978.
Okay.
What a cast. I mean, Marlon Brando, Gene Hackman, Christopher Reeve, Margot Kidder, Ned Beatty, Jackie Cooper, Glenn Ford, I think played Superman's dad, or Clark's dad. Jack O'Halloran, Valerie Perrine. Oh, I had such a crush on her when I was a kid. She was Lex's girlfriend, right? She was great.
Who's Jack O'Halloran? Is he Jimmy?
He's Non. He's the big scary.
Oh,
dude
Non.
with beard.
Okay.
Yeah, and he looks like a scary guy.
That's right.
That was no-brainer casting. Yeah, that's a great pick. Thank you for making that, and I would love to hear what you think about the new one too, because it is getting pretty good reviews. So that's kind of fun.
I'm excited.
So hey, tell us about Madison Comedy Week is coming up. Are you involved in that this year?
I am. I have a couple shows on it. It's I love it. I've done it the last 3 years, I think 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Jake Snell runs it, and it's a blast. Yeah.
Jake is going to come back on the show, and I'm a little closer to it, and we'll ask Jake about it. I had him on at your urging last year, and we talked about a great guy. Is he Madison based?
He was. He lives in Chicago now, but he's in Madison all the time, and he works, for and with the club on a lot of stuff. So he's very involved in Madison comedy.
What kind of event is that? It's different venues, right? It's not just Comedy on State.
Right. It's there's Comedy on State. Yeah, there's a lot of different venues. The only other one I can think of that I've done is the Burr Oak is one of them. And then they used to do outdoor shows at McPike Park, but that I think got moved. But yeah, there's a lot of venues. I mean, if you check out the website, I think it has all the shows listed, MadisonComedyWeek.com.
Is it a contest in any way, or is
Nope.
it just kind of celebration of comedy?
It's just a celebration of Madison comedy. And I mean, they bring in comics from outside. So it's like a festival, but it's not a competition based one, which I like. It's just a good hang.
Yeah. It's so what I love about your act, John, is that you can work clean. You have a dry bar special, but I've seen you in front of more of in Marinette, it's kind of a dive bar audience because everyone was liquored up. They go out one night a year and they tie one on, and you can spice it up a little bit. It's nice to be able to work in front of different crowds. How do you prefer to work?
I mean, I like comedy club crowds, where I can be clean and dip into immature stuff. I mean, I'm never really vulgar, but I can, do non-corporate comedy and stuff. But I mean, comedy club's my favorite, where you can just say whatever you want. And we're all adults and our boss isn't there.
Exactly. Where can people see you? What do you have coming up?
I got, Comedy Week. What is it? Madison Comedy Week is the first full week of August. So I think that's the 3rd through the 9th, I want to say. And I'm at Comedy on State on the 7th, which is Thursday at 9:30. And then I'm at the Burr Oak on Friday, the 8th at 9 p.m. And if you're in Davenport, Iowa, next Friday, the 18th of July, I am at Rhythm City Casino.
Where is that? Where is Davenport is one of the Twin cities. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. That's practically Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's not too far of a drive.
It's like a suburb of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Tell us about your podcast. Where can people check out your podcast?
Oh, The Cavalry. That is myself and Andrew Slater. Yeah. Very funny. We have not. It's just us backing each other up on topics that we get pushback on, and we try to provide backup. We should try to have you on one of our episodes. We haven't had guests in a long time because we kept getting feedback. Stop having guests.
Oh, really? Oh, well, that's good though. That means people want to hear you talk.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, maybe that could be it. But we, it's nice to have guests because we got to come up with a lot of topics and prep more when we don't have guests. But it's great. Yeah, it's called The Cavalry, which is, I like the name, but after executing it, we found that a lot of people are like, I looked up the Calvary or the Cavalry. I see now, I always forget it. Calling in the Cavalry, that's what it is. But people think it's Calvary, and they're like, is it a religious podcast? No, it's Cavalry.
How often do they drop?
Every Monday, unless Andrew forgets or is on a ship with technical difficulties, then Tuesday. But we've done 271 episodes and we haven't missed a week yet. Plus bonus episodes. Yeah. So
even when he's at sea.
Because we used to backlog and have a couple safeties, but now the internet has gotten really good at sea. So we'll still record when he's
fantastic.
At sea.
Can we keep you for just a couple more minutes?
Sure, of course.
All right, fantastic. Well, I'm going to ask Johnny what he's watching. Maybe you got a road story, John? Maybe I'll even ask you about a road story.
All right, I'll try to think of a great one. Are we going into break or are you asking now?
No, we're going into break. So if you need to make one up, you search the internet for somebody else's website too. Johnny Beaner is here. Kurt Krause coming up at 7:35. We're going to talk film incentives. And our question of the night is: you walk into a dive bar, what song is on the jukebox? This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite. We're coming right back after intermission for Act 2 on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you.
This is 97.9 WGBW Denmark, Green Bay's real news and great conversation, a Civic Media radio station.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Masked federal agents today conducting an immigration raid on a farm in Ventura County, California. Protesters blocking agents in the street, agents throwing smoke canisters into the crowd. An investigation after a massive tunnel collapsed in Los Angeles. Firefighters rescuing the 31 workers who were trapped underground at an industrial complex. LA Fire Captain Danny Wu says all made it out alive.
Thankfully, by the grace of God, we had 31 out of 31, which is amazing because that would have been an extended, prolonged rescue effort.
As the search and rescue effort continues, the number of people dead in the devastating Texas floods has grown to 121. More than 166 are still missing. A New Hampshire judge has blocked the Trump administration from enforcing its executive order to end birthright citizenship. The ruling allows the case to proceed as a class action. The White House calling the decision, quote, an obvious and unlawful attempt to circumvent the Supreme Court's clear order against universal relief. This is ABC News.
As Wisconsin has a game of cribbage with good friends, this is the Civic Media Radio Network.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. The person suspected of carjacking a Prevea Health shuttle van at Knife Point in Green Bay on Tuesday has been arrested. 46-year-old Geraldine Soto of Kashina was taken into custody in Chicago yesterday. The van, however, has not been recovered. Police are still looking for the 2022 dark gray Chrysler Pacifica with license plate number 35729 AFT. The incident is still under investigation. The city of Oshkosh will no longer provide EMS ambulance services to 7 municipalities it's contracted with. The Common Council voted unanimously Tuesday to discontinue service to the towns of Winneconne, Rushford, Poygan, Utica, and Omro, the city of Omro, and the village of Winneconne. At issue is not the cost. It's not the distance from Oshkosh. It's manpower. Deputy Mayor Joe Stevenson.
I really want to stress that this, for me, and I know for my other council members, is not an economics issue. It's not a money issue. This really is a staffing issue and an issue for our citizens. We want to make sure they have the best service possible. We want to make sure our staff is happy to be here and not stretched too thin.
Last year, Oshkosh decided to add another ambulance to its fleet, but has not been able to find applicants to staff that ambulance. Contracts with Algoma, Black Wolf, and Nakaimai will continue through 2026. No longer will the teams in Manitowoc be known as the Falcons, or the Mustangs, or Griffins, or Warhawks, or Wolves. All team mascots at elementary and middle schools in the Manitowoc Area School District will adopt Lincoln High's ship's mascot. Superintendent Lee Tennis says the change will unite the schools and the community with a shared identity that celebrates Manitowoc's maritime history. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News.
The Crew celebrates a sweep. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Baseball, the Brewers with a day off before hosting the Nationals tomorrow night. The Crew celebrating a sweep of the Dodgers with a 3-2 victory yesterday in extra innings. Jose Quintana had a no-hitter going until late in the fifth, facing a Dodgers lineup like Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman.
They are really good. I just try to control the counts, and they do really well, especially when 2 strikes, they don't chase too much, so they really discipline in the home play, especially the 3 guys.
The Dodgers have now lost 6 in a row. Manager Dave Roberts.
Today was frustrating to lose. I thought the way we competed, couldn't put a crooked number up. We had them where we wanted them, and we just couldn't finish it.
Then last night after the game, Pat Murphy announced,
okay, we got good news. Trevor McGill has been named to the All-Star team. Fitting.
That's the Brewers' Pat Murphy with Sports. I'm Mike Clemens.
As Wisconsin is dropping a line in your favorite fishing spot, this is the Civic Media Radio Network.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy, warm and muggy tonight and tomorrow with occasional showers and thunderstorms. Low tonight mid-60s, high tomorrow mid-80s. A storm or two still possible Saturday, then drying out for the weekend with a drop in humidity. Right now it's 73.
Jay Matnair and Greg Bach.
Coming up on the show, doing some recombobulating, an extended session with Dan Schaefer, who joins us at 9:30. I hope you can join us.
Matnair on air, weekday mornings 9 to 11. The Maggie Dawn Show.
Stephanie Bloomingdale, president of the Wisconsin AFL-CIO. The big brutal bill is basically an all-out assault on working Americans.
No tax on tips. It's not as good as it sounds because a lot of tipped workers are not paying that higher level of taxes in the first place.
As the wealthiest among us, dine at the feast of all feasts. Don't be fooled by the table scraps.
The award-winning Maggie Dawn Show at its new time, weekdays 4 till 6 p.m.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Night Light with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who likes to dine and dash, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back. Great to have you with me here tonight at Night Light, folks. On a Thursday, we are running a rerun tomorrow. It's been kind of a crazy week here at Civic Media this week, but we'll have a rerun on tomorrow, and then we will be back live Monday night for your regularly scheduled program all next week, and then I will be in Madison the following week for part of the week. And right now, all right, so Johnny Beaner is my guest at the moment. He made the popcorn pick of the week. We're going to get back to Johnny in just a second here. Coming up at 7:35, Kurt Krause will be here. He's a local actor and producer. We'll talk about the new legislation that has passed and is official. Wisconsin will have a film office and filmmaking incentives for filmmakers, which I think is just great. Our question of the night is, you walk into a dive bar, what song is on the jukebox? And what else did we talk about that people might have missed, Conrad? Your Madison story?
Yeah, my Madison story.
Conrad dined and dashed. He didn't even know breakfast wasn't free at the concourse. I don't know how that happens, but he took off, and they got chased down and played. They didn't press charges, though, so that's good.
No, we paid. We paid.
Yeah, reluctantly. So you're caught up, folks. We're starting Act 2 with our pal Johnny Beaner, who is here. His popcorn pick of the week was Superman from 1978, a great pick, and probably worth a rewatch. Christopher Reeve, what a great. Did you ever see a movie called Mousetrap, John?
I did not see that.
He was in that with Michael Caine, and it was based on a play. The movie's very small. It's like on one or two locations, but he really was a great actor. In addition to doing a very good Superman, he was just a solid actor too.
Was that before or after Superman?
That was
after.
I think that was a year or two after Superman, early 80s. And he holds his own with Michael Caine, and he's just really good. It's a tragedy what happened to him. He passed away, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Quite a while ago.
They did like a documentary of him called like The Superman. It's all about him. Over the break, I saw on social media there was the Rotten Tomatoes scores of all the Superman movies.
Oh, nice.
And Superman 2 had the highest with 88%. Superman 1, 86%. And this one, I don't know how they have a score already because it's not out, but it has 85% for this new Superman.
Not only that, but for the new one, they have an audience score of 96%, which I guess they've screened it, but it's got over 2,500 people have already rated it.
Wow.
So I don't know how that happens or if the fix is in or what, but I do remember really liking Superman 2 as well. The bad guys were really good in that.
Yeah.
They were pretty freaky.
Nobody liked Superman 3. I loved Superman 3 with Richard Pryor. That one was great. And the computer, the guy that builds a supercomputer makes Richard Pryor build it. I thought that was fun. I mean, I probably like it because I saw it when I was, 6. But it's actually a hilarious movie. It's very funny.
You kind of lost me when you said nobody likes Superman 3. I really liked it. Richard Pryor was in it. I was like, wait a minute, what?
It's a good movie.
Pryor. So what? All right. Before we let you go, John, are you binge watching anything at home? Are you and your wife, or just you? Late night?
I'm watching. You know what I'm watching? As she falls asleep, I'm putting in my earbuds and watching Squid Games.
How is that? I've never seen any of those.
I don't know. I don't know that I would I don't want my name on it as a recommendation, but I started watching it during, I think, COVID. The first season came out, or I had Carmen Morales as a comedian. She was staying at my place when she was working here, and she was watching it, so I got hooked onto it. Season 1 is really good, and then season 2, 3 is kind of like the same story arc. You know, sometimes they split a story arc in the middle and call it 2 seasons. So I'm 1 episode away from finishing the whole thing, season 3. And it's, you know, it's good. It's fun.
I didn't know what to make of it. I couldn't. I thought it was a game show when it first came out.
I think they, you know what? I think they made a game show of it, like a.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I have to watch it just to see what all the fuss is about.
It's a very dark dystopian.
Yeah.
Thing.
You don't want your name on it, but would you recommend it if you were like?
You know what? If me and you were at that bar with the hamburgers, I would recommend it to just you.
A mediocre hamburger with a mediocre TV show. All right, great stuff. So check out the podcast Cavalry.
Cavalry, yes.
Cavalry, not Calvary.
Right.
And then were you able to think, like, I like when I have comics on, I love hearing great road stories because I've had so many of them and they're just so surreal sometimes. Have you had something like that happen?
I did. I thought of one. I promise I didn't make this up over the break.
Okay.
And this is old. Like I don't have a lot of, you know, I couldn't go on for hours with weird road stories. But this one, I was very new. This is probably 20 years ago. I was in Omaha and I was featuring for a comic that has since turned into a booker. Anyway, but he was a drinker. And we are walking, he's drunk, and we're walking to the condo from the club. And for some reason, there's these kids just hanging out on the street downtown Omaha. And he starts talking trash to them, and they start talking trash to him. And I'm like, well, what are we doing here? He takes their phone, hits their phone out of their hand. They start yelling at him. He grabs a beer bottle and smashes it on like a railing and grabs one of the kids, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, I'm getting out of here. And then he pushes the kid away, grabs me, he throws his jacket on my head. He's like, here, let's switch jackets and we'll meet at the condo. And he like throws his jacket on my head like that's our cover. So
what's that gonna do?
I was like, because they know what we look like, and so if anything, I'm gonna get in trouble because I'm wearing his jacket. It was the scariest. I was like, I was a new comic. I was like, is this what it's like? What the hell?
Gosh, that's a great story.
Oh
and
my
scary
God,
too.
terrifying.
I hated it when I didn't know where I was in a bigger city. Like Omaha probably has some dicey area. I always liked Omaha a lot. I think it's kind of a really cool city, but I do remember, I don't know if it was the comedian Steve Seagren that told me this or Vince Moranto, but these two guys got the key to the condo and they went to the wrong spot. And they were trying to use the key to get in and it wasn't working. And some guy opens the door and the other guy starts to go in. Like this guy is there to greet them or something. And the guy goes, what the hell do you think you're doing? And he goes, it's okay. We're the comedians. This guy's like, well, I don't know anything about any comedians.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
This is so great. Hey, this was fun, dude. Thank you so much. And it's great to talk to you, and I hope we get to have another burger soon somewhere.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you so much for having me on. It's been fun.
Anytime, buddy. Johnny Beaner, check out his work. He's all over the internet. You can see his Dry Bar comedy special. You can follow him on Twitter at Johnny Comic, and check out his Letterman set from it was probably 2015. Very funny stuff and a very funny guy. You got a road story, Conrad? You kind of had one with Madison a little bit.
I don't.
Walking away.
Can I have a road story not being a comic?
Yeah. If you work, if you're on the road, I mean, that's a road story, but comics just have them because they're on the road so much. Like the odds are better that something is going to happen. And
I wouldn't say I have a road story just yet.
Okay.
I'll work on the road story.
Work on the road.
I'll work on the terrifying road story.
There you go. That was great. That sounded like he was going to get into a rumble though. All right, let's get to the text line here. We've got our question of the night is you walk into a dive bar. We're piggybacking this on our Tuesday question, which was what are some elements that make up a great dive bar? And our question tonight is you walk into a dive bar. What is playing on the jukebox? So, Conrad, you're getting some love here tonight, bud.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is fantastic. Tom from New Berlin says, Poison Ivy, every rose has its thorn. That is a great one, Tom. And I admit, I actually kind of like that song. It was like this weird, like I didn't know they were a hair band when I first heard that song. I thought it was like an older tune.
You know, next
Always kinda
time
like that
we
one.
do a dive bar question related,
Yeah.
I'm gonna catalog all these songs so we can just
You
play
gotta.
them all night.
The other thing I want to do is I thought of this like a week ago, favorite rock ballad. Like, because some of them are so cheesy. Like, and some of the songs are just bad, but I heard this one like last week, like, loving every minute of it, loving every minute of it. It's just like a cliche that they say over and over, like the worst song ever. Meredith from Madison, she's in the 608. She says, Thin Lizzy's The Boys Are Back in Town. This is so fun. This is a great question. Awesome. Thank you, Meredith. Our pal Chris Casper checks in and says, if it's near bar time, Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. P.S. I can't stand Meatloaf. The song should be banned from all jukeboxes. I kind of disagree with Chris a little bit there. You know that song?
What?
Paradise by the Dashboard Lights.
Is that closing time?
Let me sleep on it, baby, baby, let me sleep on it. It's a great song. It's by Meatloaf, and he's a clown, but it's just I don't know.
When I think of bars playing music, at the end of the night, they always do, closing time.
I hate that song so
and
much.
it just, every time it's like, all right, we get it. We need to leave.
You know what? That song is so cliche. And part of the reason I hate that song is they say, you'll go to the places, you can't stay here. You have to go home to the places you will be from. What the? It's just such a bad song. But here's another song that's kind of about a bar closing, and our pal James Runday wrote it, and it was called Sooner or Later the Night Has to End. And it was, I loved that song. He played it when he was on the show on a great tune. And I think it's everything closing time wanted to be. Tom from New Berlin says, George Thorogood and the Destroyers, I drink alone or one bourbon, one scotch, and one beer. Tom's crushing it tonight. Thank you, buddy. Great one. Susan from McFarland says, hi, guys. Conrad, it's nice to have you back. I think
Good to be back.
Yeah. She says, I think age has a lot to do with what would be on the jukebox for you if you walked in this dive bar. I think universally, Margaritaville by Jimmy Buffett, great tune, would probably be one of them. Take care, guys. Love the show. We love that you listen, Susan. That's a great text. Margaritaville, another great one. And Journey. Who said Journey? Was that Johnny?
Yeah, that was Johnny.
That was a great. Journey's on every jukebox. Anna from Madison, she's in the 608, says, hi, Pete. Welcome back. Conrad.
Thank you.
My favorite song on a dive bar jukebox would be Brown Sugar. Yeah. Another one I like by the Stones for jukebox songs is Honky Tonk. Is it Honky Tonk Woman? Honky Tonk Blues? I don't even know what it's called. But you know the song I'm talking about. It's just great. And it's a great Stones tune. Love it. Susan sent a nice emoji with, what is that, a bunny rabbit with hearts?
Yeah. I think the bunny rabbit's wearing a tie as well.
Is that for you because you're back, Conrad?
Well, thank you if it is.
Either way, it's nice to get the love. Thank you, Susan. Barb from Waukesha, she's in the 262, says, Born to be Wild, Steppenwolf. Yes. That's a great dive bar jukebox song. Even maybe Born to Run, Springsteen. That's a great one. Tom from New Berlin again. Bob Seger. Was the lyrics you question? I don't know.
You're saying some lyrics. You're like, I forget what.
But Bob Seger lyrics?
Might have been.
Yeah. We'll figure it out, Tom. Thank you, buddy. We've got some more texts, too. We'll get to those after a very short break. And a fun clip. Should we do the Seinfeld clip? That was kind of a good one.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. So, and then our pal Kurt Krause will be here at 7:35 talking film incentives. Be great to catch up with Kurt. He's an actor and producer based here in Northeast Wisconsin, and he is a very good friend of the show. That's all coming up soon. We'll be right back after a very short break. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
But when the night is falling, you cannot find the light. You feel your
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for the Todd Allball Show.
Mark your calendars and head to Marinette on July 12th for the 13th annual Logging and Heritage Festival. Located on historic Stevenson Island, there will be free kids activities, food trucks, BMX stunt bike, live music, logging exhibitions, fireworks, and much more. The island opens at noon and the fun doesn't stop until the fireworks are over. It's the Marinette Logging and Heritage Festival on July 13th on Stevenson Island in Marinette. Don't miss it.
I'm Dan Schaefer. Let's recombobulate. Ever since I started the recombobulation area, I've written an in-depth breakdown of every new edition of the Marquette University Law School poll. The newest poll asks about a range of topics: whether Tony Evers should run for a third term, where people stand on Donald Trump's economic policies, and a host of issues relating to the state budget. The poll paints a picture of a polarized Wisconsin. Many people are very dug into their partisan camps, which is perhaps to be expected in the most evenly divided state in the nation. But there are a number of issues polled that do have the support of more than 2/3 of Wisconsin voters. Those include extending Medicaid coverage for new moms, legalizing marijuana, making major increases in state aid for special education, providing mental health services in schools, allowing citizen-led ballot initiatives, and banning cell phones in schools. What do most of these issues have in common? They are policies being advanced by Democrats in Wisconsin.
Find all of Dan's work at the recombobulation area.
The wine cellar and craft beer spot in De Pere remind you, most individuals are eligible to donate blood. Your donation can save up to 3 lives by dividing it into red and white blood cells, platelets, and plasma. It only takes about an hour to donate and costs nothing. This from the wine cellar and craft beer spot on Main Avenue in De Pere. Stop by and check out their huge selection of fine wines and craft beers. Everyone can find something to love.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking, the list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Nightlight. That is a band I wanted to see at Summerfest. Did you go to that?
No, I didn't make it to any days, actually.
God, my son and a bunch of my friends went to that and said it was just absolutely amazing. And I've never seen the Killers live. I'm not a big concert guy, but they are definitely a band I would love to see live. Let's stick with the text. I love the suggestions people are making. Our question of the night, folks, you can still get in on the fun, is you walk into a dive bar, what song is on the jukebox? It could be a song you're used to hearing, maybe a song you want to hear. It doesn't matter, but let us know what you think you'd hear on the jukebox. I'm having trouble here finding him. Oh, there we go. Steve, Conrad's dad checking in. It's about time. Where has Steve been all week?
Actually, he's in Wisconsin right now.
Nice.
We went out for lunch at Poke the Bear earlier.
He's in the hood?
Yeah. Well, back in Appleton by my brothers, but
you should have him come in tonight.
Well, I actually gave him a tour of the studio.
Okay.
But you weren't here, so.
All right, Steve, you're always welcome. If you want to do a pop-in, we'll put you on the air and we'll have a couple-minute interview and find out what kind of child Conrad was. Steve says, back in the day when the jukebox ruled the world, Temptation Eyes by the Grassroots. I don't think I know that song. I probably did. I'd probably hear it or know it if I heard it. Thank you, Steve. Great one. Christine from Slinger says, there's a tear in my beer. Stupid country song. That is such a lame tune. That's a great text. And look, stupid country songs can't hide behind the music. Like, they sound more stupid than stupid rock songs, because rock, you at least have that beat and the music to gloss over horrible lyrics. You don't really have that with country tunes. So I think they stand out a little more. And it just made me think of that when Christine said that. Jack from Merrimack says, going along with yesterday's comment that you can tell a dive bar by the chopped Harleys in front, the song, of course, would be Born to be Wild. Awesome, Jack. Fantastic. Thank you. Terry from Wausau says the song I'm Proud to Be an American, the Lee Greenwood tune. Yeah, that's on a lot of jukeboxes, too. That's when people, like, if you're like in a country bar and that song is on and people have had a few drinks, they're tearing up when that song comes on, for sure. Ronnie from Horicon says, I walk into the dive bar and ZZ Top is playing on the jukebox. Outstanding. Excellent, Ronnie. All right, that's great. I think we're caught up.
You know, there's another one I would say, and it's AC/DC.
Oh, yeah, Back in Black. Or You Shook Me All Night Long. Those are all great. So, all right, so Kurt Krause will be here in just a few minutes, folks. It's going to be fun. There are film incentives in Wisconsin. I'm so excited about that. We'll bring Kurt on after the news, and we will have a discussion about filmmaking in Wisconsin. If you have a script, this is the time to make it, folks. We did not get to our movie talk. I've seen Jurassic World Rebirth, and I told you during the break.
Yeah.
It's not a great movie, but I liked it enough. Like, the CGI is so good now. It's in a different place than it was in 1993 when the first one came out. And the script is a little cheesy. I wouldn't say that. Like, David Koepp wrote it. He's a UW-Madison grad. And he's like the hottest writer in Hollywood. And he's a great writer. But there were a couple scenes I didn't think they needed. I thought they should have just stuck to the dinosaurs. And again, it's over 2 hours long.
So you saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
Is it a theater movie? Or would you watch it in theater?
Theater all the way. Because the dinosaurs, like I said, the CGI looks so good. And the dinosaurs, there's some really good jump scares. And my wife is, whenever a movie is on, something will happen. Like, she knows it's coming, and she'll still say out loud, "Oh, no!" I'm like, stop.
Was the theater packed when you went?
Oh, yeah. It was packed.
Oh, nice.
It was. It was a good movie.
It's always good to see the theater just packed for those movies.
Absolutely. So I recommend Jurassic World Rebirth. And I wanted to share with you, because we talked about this on the air, White Lotus Season 3.
Yeah.
You said there's a very disturbing scene between brothers.
Yeah. Yes,
and
there is.
I didn't mean to downplay. Like, look, it's a disturbing scene. I'm glad you told me that, because I was expecting much worse, knowing where the show White Lotus can go from time to time. It was disturbing. But the aftermath was kind of funny, because the brothers were like, oh, dude, you know. It was like Joey and Chandler's horrifying thing, like if they were going to have a threesome with a woman. It's sort of the same thing happened to White Lotus. So, I don't know. But again, I just think, I know a lot of people were kind of saying White Lotus Season 3 isn't as good as the first two. I loved it. I like all their seasons.
What'd you think about John Grise in Season 3?
Funny you say that, because John and I swapped emails today.
Oh, nice.
And I'm trying to get him back on the show to come back and discuss his role on White Lotus Season 3. He's the only cast member, I think, who's been on all 3 seasons.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get a date nailed down with John. He was on the show last fall, I believe, before they did our Napoleon Dynamite screening at the Barrymore, and John was in town for that with John Hyder. So hopefully we'll get that figured out. But he's good. What I like so much about his character on White Lotus Season 3 is I couldn't tell if he was behind Jennifer Coolidge's death in Season 2 or just a lucky dude that inherited all this money. Was he plotting to kill her?
I think he was.
And they insinuate he was, but
and the one thing that was funny in that is that the proposal that his girlfriend, I believe, had to Patrick Schwarzenegger's character.
Yeah. Oh, right. She wanted to do it with him in front of, John Grice's character, Gary, wanted her to do it with Patrick Schwarzenegger's character in front of John.
Yes.
And he was, as pervy as Patrick Schwarzenegger was in the show, he was like really creeped out by that. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, whoa.
We got to talk about Old Guard 2 at some point, and Jaws, the 50th anniversary is this summer. I watched that with my wife and kids over the weekend, and I don't remember the movie being as good as I thought it was. It was really, they jump right into it, and it's so good. And I just, I love Jaws. So we'll get to that at some point. The whole summer is the 50th anniversary. All right, folks. Our pal Kurt Krause will be here next talking about film incentives. This is going to put Wisconsin even more on the map than we already are, with great movies being shot here in Wisconsin. That's coming up after this news break on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Tom Hartman here. You're listening to 97.9 WGBW.
As Wisconsin is brats on the grill for a tailgate, this is the Civic Media Radio Network.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Masked federal agents today conducting an immigration raid on a farm in Ventura County, California. Protesters blocking agents in the street, agents throwing smoke canisters into the crowd. An investigation after a massive tunnel collapsed in Los Angeles. Firefighters rescuing the 31 workers who were trapped underground at an industrial complex. LA Fire Captain Danny Wu says all made it out alive.
Thankfully, by the grace of God, we had 31 out of 31, which is amazing because that would have been an extended, prolonged rescue effort.
As the search and rescue effort continues, the number of people dead in the devastating Texas floods has grown to 121. More than 166 are still missing. A New Hampshire judge has blocked the Trump administration from enforcing its executive order to end birthright citizenship. The ruling allows the case to proceed as a class action. The White House calling the decision, quote, an obvious and unlawful attempt to circumvent the Supreme Court's clear order against universal relief. This is ABC News.
The Crew celebrates a sweep. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Baseball, the Brewers with a day off before hosting the Nationals tomorrow night. Their Crew celebrating a sweep of the Dodgers. With a 3-2 victory yesterday in extra innings, Jose Quintana had a no-hitter going until late in the fifth, facing a Dodgers lineup like Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman.
They are really good. I just try to control accounts, and they do really well, especially when two strikes, they don't chase too much. So they really discipline the home play, especially the three guys.
The Dodgers have now lost 6 in a row. Manager Dave Roberts.
Today was frustrating to lose. I thought the way we competed, couldn't put a quicker number up. We had them where we wanted them, and we just couldn't finish it.
Then last night after the game, Pat Murphy announced.
Okay, we got good news. Trevor McGill has been named to the All-Star team. Fitting.
That's the Brewers' Pat Murphy with Sports on Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Despite mediocre reviews, dinosaurs prevailed as box office champions over the 4th of July weekend. As expected, Jurassic franchise Rebirth, also known as Jurassic World Rebirth, was tops at the box office, pulling in $147 million domestically over the 5-day weekend and $318 million worldwide. The film stars Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali and some pretty impressive CGI dinosaurs. Coming in second place was the Brad Pitt-driven F1, which brought in $26 million and saw a somewhat respectable drop-off of 54% from the week before. How to Train Your Dragon came in third place with about $10 million in its 4th week of release. The family film is now at $224 million domestically, with well over $500 million worldwide. Rounding out the top 5 were the Pixar film Elio with about $5 million buku Dolores, and 28 Years Later came in 5th place with $4.6 million at the gate. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
This report sponsored by the City of Marinette, home of the Logging and Heritage Festival July 12th and 13th on Stevenson Island. More details at fishonmarinette.com.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy, warm and muggy tonight and tomorrow with occasional showers and thunderstorms. Low tonight mid-60s, high tomorrow mid-80s. A storm or two still possible Saturday, then drying out for the weekend with a drop in humidity. Right now it's 73.
Mark your calendars and head to Marinette on July 12th for the 13th annual Logging and Heritage Festival. Located on historic Stevenson Island, there will be free kids activities, food trucks, BMX stunt bike, live music, logging exhibitions, fireworks, and much more. The island opens at noon and the fun doesn't stop until the fireworks are over. It's the Marinette Logging and Heritage Festival on July 13th on Stevenson Island in Marinette. Don't miss it.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Todd Albaugh.
Next time, Todd continues live from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair in Chippewa Falls, highlighting some great public educators.
Nightlight with Peach Schwaba, folks. Great to have you with me on the Civic Media Radio Network. We are jamming through a Thursday night show. Ronnie from Horicon says LaGrange. Is that a song? Sorry, Ronnie, I don't know that one.
I think that might be a band.
A band? It sounds more like a band name. It's a city in Illinois that I always thought sounded like the most. It's like a Chicago suburb. It was like LaGrange. It always sounded like a place I didn't want to live. I don't think anyone's listening from LaGrange. And if you are, you know what? I've had it with your nonsense. Rhonda from Madison says, Bad to the Bone. That's another great dive bar jukebox tune. Awesome stuff. All right. You can still get in on the fun, folks. If you want to let us know, you walk into a dive bar. What is playing on the jukebox? Right now, I'm excited to pivot here and talk to my friend Kurt Krause, who joins me in the studio here. This worked out nicely. Kurt is a local actor and producer. Very busy guy. He works in commercials. He does films. He's all over the place. But tonight, he's in the Nightlight studio. Great to have you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right. So we've talked on this show, Kurt. I just want to jump right in. So much about the incentives and Action Wisconsin. Are you actually part of Action Wisconsin, or were your efforts separate but coinciding with theirs?
I was actually a very late add to Action Wisconsin. So everything we're enjoying right now, and again, this is big news.
Yeah.
This has been just years and years of this coalition working, and because of our mutual friend Nathan Deming, talked about some of the efforts we were doing in Door County and introduced us to Jeffrey Kurz and brought us in on the coalition. And then we testified this spring before the state assembly all together. And it was magical. It felt like a Braveheart, like uniting the clans, because we knew of each other's names, or we'd seen the work of one another, but to all of a sudden all come together in the rotunda of the Capitol building and then go in together and talk about local impacts and tourist impacts and the human impact of all of this. It was a very special day in the assembly.
I really, without knowing too many details, I'm friends with all of you guys. Jeff's been on the show. Nathan's been on the show. You've been on the show. They were on the show together about 2 weeks ago, right before this went to an actual vote. And I had a good feeling about it, just because I feel like, who doesn't want their state showcased in movies, whether it's a big studio film or independent, or if they shoot TV here? It helps the state, right?
Absolutely. And it was beautiful. It was a bipartisan support. It was in the governor's budget. It was also this bill that Representative Armstrong was backing as they were moving it through the assembly. So and it was bipartisan then too. So it was like people really got this.
Yeah.
And I think everybody saw the impact. So it is possible for us to work
people
together.
To work together. Yep. Yeah. Well, congratulations and thank you for your efforts. I was talking at the beginning of the show about how I've had a project forever. I don't know if it'll ever go or not, but you keep these things moving forward. And now that Wisconsin is an option to actually shoot something, it really makes life good as a filmmaker. So what does this mean for filmmakers? How will this help them financially?
So as early as 2026, so just in this next year, it's going to be, to my understanding, $5 million that's out there annually, that if the project's being done in state and they're using services that are within the state, the goal is to keep the money in the state and to be producing outcome within the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And so they can get up to a 30% return.
Is it a return? Is it cash back? Is it that kind of rebate? Because some states offer that, and some states offer incentives for taxes and stuff like that. Do we know yet, or is that still being worked out?
Let me get back to you on that. Yeah, that's a very good question as to how that's back. I was initially thinking that it would be on the tax. We got some fans outside the window
fans
here.
Outside wondering what's going on in here.
Oh man,
just two dudes with microphones talking.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. And is it a 30%?
I think it's 30%.
That's good. That's kind of aggressive too. If it's a rebate, I think that rivals Illinois and Minnesota, at least out in the lower part of Minnesota. So I think it makes Wisconsin really competitive. So I think
Definitely.
that I can't thank you enough for your efforts and those of Nathan and Jeff as well.
I was going to say, if our friends in film are listening tonight, and if they have any additional details they want to throw out there, have them call in, because these guys have been working tirelessly, and like I said, they've been doing the legwork for so long.
And we've got JB Thompson. Speaking of filmmakers, he's who I call the guy behind the guy. Behind the guy. He says, he's talking not about film incentives, but he says, Inagata DeVita, probably the best way to celebrate a dive bar. Yeah, because the song goes on forever, JB, so that's even worse. Thank you, buddy. And he's a guy who will benefit. You guys, Dan Davies has been on the show, and Craig Knitt and Ezekiel Drews. Like, does this make you, are you close enough to going right into production on something where you can really capitalize on this? Because 2026, 5 months away at this point.
You know, we've been putting together a budget and a number of different avenues that we want to raise money for our feature film Amphibious. And now that this has happened, you know, I think we are going to look at how this could impact us and what routes we would go to, even if it means increasing the budget. Right now, it's a lofty goal of $300,000.
Okay.
I know when you did Godfather Green Bay, you guys were over $1 million on that.
We were not. In fact, we started around 3, and then we raised more money as we went on. And you know, it's funny, like that extra money you raised, it allowed us to shoot on super 16 millimeter film because we were going to have to do it digitally. And at the time, digital was not there yet. It looked like, I think it was called DV or something like that. And I was like, oh man. So when we found some extra investors, we got closer to $500,000. And that really helped. Nice. So I wish you luck with Amphibious. 300. You should be able to do some good work for $300,000. I think on an indie in Northeast Wisconsin, right?
Absolutely, and that still qualifies as micro budget. You know, on the SAG level. Now again, with all of this out there, and again, not knowing what the future holds, you know, you could really swing for the fences and go on a bigger budget as well. Knowing now that we have some of these things that could really play to our favor. So I think we'll be looking at some numbers moving forward.
Yeah.
Because again, the ink is not dried on this thing. This is just days, days ago.
When you say $5 million has been allocated, first of all, that's nothing. For a state budget, I mean, whatever, states have bills to pay and all that kind of stuff, but for what you get back, and I've always heard that when you spend $1 in a community of a film budget, $6 gets pumped into the local economy. And I don't know how accurate that is. That was a statistic I remember from years ago. But if this can help the economy, if you guys can generate, or we as a state can generate more projects, that really is going to help the economy and hopefully keep the incentives here longer. What happens when that $5 million is gone? Like, could one production come in from LA or New York and take the whole thing? Like, isn't that kind of what happened with Public Enemies?
So Public Enemies definitely got the bad rap for that.
Yeah.
And I believe they've learned from that,
Okay.
and I have things in place that doesn't happen. The specifics of that I'd have to get back to you on. But
Sure.
again, any of the folks who've been working with with the assembly, with our lobbyist who's just been amazing. I know that they learned from a lot of those things from 2008.
Okay.
And again, Public Enemies, and going back to that local impact. To this day, we see what it does in the community of Oshkosh. One of my good friends, Kevin McHugh, we just wrapped a film called Black Rose.
Yeah.
That was filmed at Venue 404 in Oshkosh, which is this amazing events venue for weddings, conferences, what have you. But that was the national bank that was robbed in the film Public Enemies.
Public Enemies. Oh, that's so great.
Way back in 2008, and to this day, they've kept that 1930s, 1940s vibe.
Yeah.
And you go in there, and they've got the tin roof, and you've got almost floor to ceiling professional photographs from that production. You've still got the vault in the basement, and they have a full bar down there, and they've really capitalized on this, and the return continues. And we're come 2028,
17 years out, yeah.
So
wow,
it's just incredible, and in other places downtown too. I mean, to this day, they will still talk about when Hollywood came to Oshkosh, and I shared with you earlier, it was actually a career launch for myself because the very second film I got involved in, as an actor and worked on second team was in Public Enemies, and so literally. To have your second film be a Universal picture, never having left the Midwest at that point was just wild.
You were probably like, and for those of you listening, Kurt Krause is my guest. He's a local Northeast Wisconsin-based actor and producer, and a very busy guy. let's tell people when you were 18, you were an extra on my film, The Godfather of Green Bay. So you're getting chummy with Lauren Holly and Tony Goldwyn and Thomas Lennon, and then you go right to Public Enemies. You must have thought, oh my God, like Hollywood has come to the Midwest.
It was
18-year-old kid, yeah.
Yeah. So, and let's see, I was probably 21 or 22 when Public Enemies had come to Oshkosh, and yeah. So I mean, to go right into my second film and be working with Johnny Depp and Michael Mann, and then a lot, Spencer Garrett was the actor I was standing in for, and all of them were just incredibly gracious.
That's so great. I love hearing stories like that. All right, so this also means that we have a film office in Wisconsin. We were only one of like a dozen or 13 states that did not have a film office.
I think we were down to like 3. I think we were in the last 3.
Oh, God, that's terrible.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a film office, which is great. Where will it be? Do we know? Madison, Milwaukee? Where do you think the film office will be?
This is just a projection. I would project it would be Madison.
Okay.
Because it will be a state film office, and so my thought is it would be tied into the legislature.
Right. What do you think the climate is here, Kurt? First for Wisconsin in general, for independent film, and then Northeast Wisconsin. Like you just mentioned Black Rose. You also have this other ambitious project, Amphibious. And tell us about that, because I remember the synopsis was so cool.
Yeah, Amphibious, it's meant to be this inspirational film, and target audience being high schoolers, but it really applies to everyone. And in Amphibious, you have a character who is transferred to a new school because when his secret comes out again and again, he gets bullied. Well, his secret is that he was born with syndactyly. He has webbed toes and webbed fingers, and he sees this thing as a curse and this thing that always isolates him. And when he comes into a caring school with a support staff that steps in, they help him see this thing as a gift, and he gets involved with the swim team, and he starts making better and better time, and pretty soon he becomes this pseudo celebrity, and it's that very thing that he was hiding away for so long that was making him feel isolated. That's now being celebrated. So he uses this whole pseudo celebrity status to lift up people around him because he knows what it's like being that other guy.
Is it based on a book or a true story or someone you know? It's
a story I wrote. It was inspired by a number of things, but a story I wrote originally, and it went to a writing competition. It was a finalist, and I'm like, okay, people like the story. Let's write it as a feature film, and we've got a really just amazing team coming together to work on it.
That's fantastic. All right, we'll have a couple more minutes with Kurt Krause after this very short break. We have I want to ask you about film festivals coming up. And what you're watching. You always have a good binge watch suggestion, right? Or am I thinking of someone
Hopefully I do, yeah.
Kurt Krause is here. We're coming right back on the Civic Media Radio Network.
I feel like we're forever every time we get together, but whatever, let's get lost on Mars. You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating. The Milky Way, we're renegading. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
As Wisconsin is dropping a line in your favorite fishing spot, this is the Civic Media Radio Network.
Don't count sheep when you're on vacation. Pack your bags and get away to the Independence Stay Hotel long-term suites in Marinette, Wisconsin. Offering short and long-term stays, the Independence Stay Hotel has the best lodging accommodations with delicious breakfasts daily, saltwater swimming pool and spa, workout facility, and much more. Furnished with amazing beds, flat screen TVs, and climate control for a perfect night's rest. Book your room at independencestay.com and stop counting sheep.
Escape to paradise this summer at Chula Vista Resort in Wisconsin Dells. Spacious accommodations, perfect for families or romantic getaways. Voted top 10 best water parks in the U.S., championship golf, the longest zip line in the area, and the #1 steakhouse in Wisconsin. Book a Chula Vista Resort all-inclusive package now at 1-800-388-4782 or visit chulavistaresort.com. Your summer paradise awaits.
Are you a puzzle lover who's ready for some friendly competition? It's Amanda with another new Wisco 411 for you, brought to you by Area 509 in Appleton. And on Sunday, July 13th, at the Barrel House at Badger State Brewing, from 1 till 8 p.m., you can join the fun that is Puzzles for Paws. It's a cat-tastic challenge that raises funds for Brewster's Place, a nonprofit no-kill cat rescue. So spend your afternoon puzzling or checking out the silent auctions. Head to WGBW.FM, click events, and see where to get your tickets.
Today's job market is full of demand for skilled trade workers. Electricians, welders, mechanics, these and other trades are the backbone of every community. They're also a huge part in making sure the Army National Guard is always fulfilling its mission of service to our country and communities. Soldiers train to keep the power flowing, engines running, and supplies moving. The skilled trades these soldiers perform are the same ones needed in today's civilian workforce. Army National Guard soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. With options from plumber to helicopter mechanic and everything in between, soldiers are able to select the trades that best fit their lives. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession and serve your community and country by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
Stephanie Bloomingdale, president of the Wisconsin AFL-CIO. The big brutal bill is basically an all-out assault on working Americans.
No tax on tips. It's not as good as it sounds because a lot of tipped workers are not paying that higher level of taxes in the first place.
As the wealthiest among us, dine at the feast of all feasts. Don't be fooled by the table scraps.
The award-winning Maggie Dawn Show at its new time, weekdays for
Welcome back. This is Nightlight with Pete Schwaba. I am Pete Schwaba. Happy to be broadcasting from a beautiful downtown Green Bay statewide on this gorgeous summer evening. My guest is Kurt Kraus. We have a few more minutes with Kurt. He is a local filmmaker and actor. What do you tell people? Like, I get this a lot. You must get it too, because you've been in a lot of independent films in Wisconsin. You're tied into the community. Someone comes to you and says, hey, I've got this great idea for a short. It's 10 minutes long. What do I do? What's the first thing you say to them?
Well, short films are great because you can get a lot of momentum and turn out the project fairly quick. Typically, I'd say, pass the script around to people you trust, and get feedback. And if it's your first film, it might be tough to get feedback. Constructive criticism can still hurt. I know that as well as anyone.
Yeah.
And I think over the years, you kind of just build layers of skin.
For sure.
Usually shopping it out and just kind of getting a feel. If the story sounds interesting enough and they want me to consider producing it, and again, if I really like the story, then I start to read through it and see, okay, logistically, what does this look like, location-wise?
Can you do budgets?
I can, but there's a lot. There's a lot better people than myself to do
it's
budgets.
Intimidating.
I can. It's that's a lot of heartburn for this guy, but other people just like thrive in that realm.
That's great. And it all starts with the script, right? I mean, you got to have a good script. Otherwise, I mean, I've always said, like, you can't, even if you're a great director, if you have a bunch of crap on paper, you don't really have anything to direct. And actors too, they need good material. So it all starts with the script. What are some festivals? Let's talk about film festivals locally that you could refer people to. If people haven't had the film festival experience, where would you tell them to go?
Well, right off the bat, I got to say the Door County Film Festival.
And disclaimer, you're involved in that. And that's great.
Just it's a festival near and dear to my heart. We've been we're approaching the Big 20. And that's big for a festival to get to the 20.
What do you mean
years.
the Big
20 years?
That film festival has been here for 20 years?
Well, we're getting there. I think this is the 17th year coming up.
I didn't know that. Okay.
17th or 18th. It's Chris Opper would know, obviously.
Yeah.
But
he's been on the show. Chris is great.
Chris is amazing.
And what a great setting for a film festival, too. Door County.
It's fantastic.
Beautiful.
Over at the Gold Theater. And it's always Valentine's Day weekend. We're actually still accepting submissions through Halloween, so October 31st. You can still get your film in, and the judging panel will review and make the decisions.
And share that website again, because I forgot about that website where you can go and get all kinds of information on local film festivals and national film festivals.
So Film Freeway, so filmfreeway.com is really, when you're looking to submit a project, you can in your search engine, you can look at locations, you can look at themes of a festival, and they can be here in the U.S., they can be global, and it's a wealth of info right there, just for there for the typing.
Bear with me. I'm going to get through the rest of our text here. Then I want to ask you what you can recommend binge watching, and it can't be something you're in. Our question of the night, folks, I'll read these final few texts here, is you walk into a dive bar, what song is on the jukebox? Ronnie from Horican says ZZ Top. Did I read that, or was he clarifying? Because LaGrange.
Yes, that is
LaGrange
a song.
Is a song by ZZ Top.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Ronnie, for clarifying that. TJ from Oshkosh, Instability of the Props Fund. Let's. I need you to go over that text.
Well,
is that
he has a follow up right under the video.
Right in the video on the text line?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If you want, I can read it.
Hey, Pete and go ahead. You read that one, because I haven't.
He says, "Hey, Pete and Conrad, I've been meaning to share with y'all a local queer-led independent production that some of my Oshkosh area friends are working on. A TV show called Instability. The script has already won multiple awards, and episode 1 will be premiering at the Time Theater on November 16th.
Get out of here.
They're looking for some help with props to be able to continue filming past episode 1. And he also shared a link to the Kickstarter.
That's fantastic. So it's not done, or is it's done? The first episode will premiere.
Yes.
Okay.
He says that they're looking for some
TJ
help. Yeah.
Yeah. Send us your contact info, TJ. Let's see if we can talk to TJ about that. That sounds like a really cool project. I was just overwhelmed because I saw the picture and then I saw all these words and I'm like, oh my God, I can't. Thank you, TJ, for the text. And let's talk. Anna from Madison says, Pete LaGrange is a song by ZZ Top. See, the nightlight, the couch potatoes are on it, man. Tony the trucker says, Pete, Jerry Jeff Walker's Why Don't We Get Drunk and Screw? After all, isn't that the reason people are there anyway? Yes, Tony the trucker. And as a trucker, I'm just guessing he's been in a share of dive bars. Thank you, buddy. Steady Eddie and the 608 says, Pete, looking for love in all the wrong places, sung by Johnny Lee, 1980. I think that was the last year I was in a dive bar. Oh, that's a shame, Steady Eddie. He says, I must admit, I do miss that dirty bar of soap. Why Don't We Get Drunk and Screw? That's a great song. I forgot all about that. Thank you, Steady Eddie. Folks, on Monday, we've got a great show. We have a rerun tomorrow night. We'll be back live all week live next week. And we'll have on Monday night, On Stage for Cancer will be here in the studio. The Piats and one of their children will be here singing. It's going to be amazing. Kim can't be here, but they are so much fun to have in the studio. And then our pal Rob Thomas will be on to talk about the summer blockbusters and all kinds of fun stuff. Rob is a Madison-based film and TV critic, so that'll be Monday night. And Kurt, so what are you watching? What can you recommend? We got about a minute left.
So this is going to be old news for everyone else, but I have to finish the final season of Better Call Saul.
There's so much content out there. Don't ever feel, like you can't watch everything. I just finished White Lotus season 3. I started a show called Line of Duty that came out in 2012. So that's how it is, right? Did you like it?
I feel better now.
Yeah.
Love Better Call Saul.
Okay.
And I was so into it, like a lot of other folks, that when you were waiting on the next season, you would rewatch every other season to just get as much of the story as you could get. And after that, The Wire has been recommended to me.
Fantastic. I've watched that whole series twice. Nice. You really have to pay attention, but it is outstanding. Maybe the best TV show ever. A lot of critics say that.
My brother was talking it up today, so I'm like, okay, well, that's going to be the next one. Yeah.
Check it out. Kurt Krause, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, buddy. Thanks for being on the show tonight, and congrats again on the film incentives. That's excellent. And my thanks to Johnny Beener and all your texts and calls. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you Monday. On behalf of the lovable producer, Conrad, good night, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah. Oh, take me